sound takes on really fascinating qualities out here. You can hear forever. A bird goes by, you can hear the wings way, way off in the distance. I just thought I'd put that out there. Opening scene in the next screenplay I'm going to write. I am currently focused on my second novel, so I'm not going to start the screenplay that keeps trying to surface in my mind until the novel, first draft of the novel anyway, is done. Opening scene. If you've never written screenplay, I would urge you to give it a shot. It's a relatively easy format compared to prose. You don't need to maintain focus anywhere near long as I tend to need to do in prose. And it in a 10-minute coffee break from work, you can get a scene down, and you can maintain the symmetry of it in your mind. So yeah, if you've never written screenplay, I would strongly urge you to do that. Opening scene, what you do, you either specify interior or exterior, the location, and then the time of day. So in this one, it's exterior, parking lot, day. Okay, interior, parking lot, dash day. And what we're looking at in this opening visual is 3 sides to a parking lot and walls to a building, preferably brick walls, during the daytime. And there's a door to at least one of the walls that is wide open. Behind the door is darkness. It's just a normal, door like you would go into a garage or something, or a home. And in the room, the darkened room in the doorway, there's music playing, and if I have the budget, which I'm going to, the music is the extended version of the song "Slave" by the Rolling Stones. Has a very distinctive guitar into it. So somebody in there is listening to the song "Slave" by the Rolling Stones as we get this kind of slow extended visual of this and the sound of that. Also in that room, someone is doing some kind of welding and arc welding, and it creates these bright glow effects, and then darkness, and then glow, and then darkness. With anything, when you write scripts enough, you improve, and things get more subtler. I don't know. And no exception here. In this instance, the arc welding is coinciding with the beat of the guitar riffs for the song "Slave." Just a little subtle thing you add that some viewers may not be aware of. And then after 3 beats, let's say, we start to move towards the darkened doorway that has this arc welding light coming out and the music coming out of it. So we're moving towards that. That's the opening, the very opening of it. There's more. Hang on. Again, this sequence of series of scenes is a little complex, a little subtle, but as you do this writing stuff long enough, you kind of develop that without even trying. So as described just a moment ago, that's happening, moving towards this door. Next shot, described as you do appropriately for screenplay format, is inside, fairly wide, so we'll say medium shot. In darkness, a person with one of these heavy arc welding masks down over their face is welding something, seemingly oblivious to their surroundings. The next cut is to a male outside the door to this room that the person is welding in the dark, and the male pauses a moment outside the door, pulls a silenced handgun out from behind him, and does a kind of a subtle head shift just before he enters, so that he's essentially trying to sense what exactly is going on in the room that he's about to face. Then back to the arc welding going on, but from the opposite angle, and you see the person welding on the right hand side, and on the left we see the doorway that the male is entering gun drawn now. And he does that, and as he does that, his shadow comes across some of the light being thrown out by the arc welding. Because the only light source in this room is this arc welding. As the music goes again, the welding is still matching the beat of the music. This guy enters the room, and his shadow has caused an effect. His presence, his presence is creating a shadow, and that is causing an effect across the room as he calmly approaches the arc welder with his gun drum. Take 3. Hey guys, forgive the jet noise if you're picking up on that. It's getting cold, and I've been back here for quite a while now, a few hours, and I want to get going, so I'm just going to finish the scene off. So, arc welder senses the presence of the assassin, stops arc welding, lifts the mask, looks up, and in the subtle, gentle light we have from the doorway, the only light source is the outside world through this open doorway. The arc welder and the assassin exchange a very brief glance. Pop, pop. Assassin puts 2 into the victim, turns and calmly walks towards the door. This next shot is a wide shot directly on the assassin walking towards the only light source, which is the open door. Music still going in the background. Welding has stopped because the arc welder is bleeding out. And the assassin gets larger as he walks towards the light source open door, and things get subtly brighter. Just a subtle movement towards, barely perceptible movement towards that light source. Maybe even a little inferior. We'll see. Shot. Just before getting to the doorway out, this assassin yet again stops just outside of the direct sunlight. Does a little preternatural head twist, like he's sensing something, but beyond normal senses. Whatever's going on, he's comfortable with. He puts the gun back in wherever these guys put guns, and he walks out of the room where this has just happened. A shot of him breaching the doorway. Then exterior, exact same angle we started on. Assassin walks out and walks directly towards the camera and passes the camera calmly. That's the opening shot to this movie. A lot goes on in the movie. I am no longer giving too many details about these circumstances for a lot of silly reasons, but we're not going to get too detailed into that. Anyway, I have the whole script in my head. It's a little woo-woo. There's a lot going on. It's not all explicable or natural. A lot of subtle, a lot of beauty, a lot of male beauty in it. This one, the last one was all female. This one's it's a lot of male, masculine aggressiveness and attractiveness and the like. So basically the gist of it with the main character, I'm not going to give too much away, but he's into some things. He's an assassin. He's into some things, obviously. And he's having direct contact and engagement with some people that he's employed with. This type of person doesn't really work for anyone because he's, kills people for a living. But so he's engaging these people, and they're not aware of some things about him. And they, for obvious reasons, think everything that they're talking about and involved with is very, very serious, which it is, right? But there's a level above that to this man's existence that he engages with as well. And that group, as people tend to do, think that, the engagement with him is sort of the top tier, top level, and serious and important and all that. And he engages them in that way as well. And that second level of people and circumstances and the like are not aware that there is another level above them. So the second level think that they're all levels that this guy is engaging are under the false impression that they're sort of the top tier in the pool, let's say, and they're not. There's levels above them, and they're at the top level. This is the kind of woo-woo Call it supernatural if you want. Call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Woo doesn't care what you think of it or believe. And so the guy has an incredibly complex series of dynamics going on with different levels of people and organizations and other circumstances. And he's got to dance between them all, not feigning, but engaging them like they are as significant and important and powerful as they think they are. When in fact, there's with two of these groups, circumstances, there are realities in his life above them that have different levels of significance, we'll call it. That's the overview. Speaking of you, what I get to look at today. Wow. That's the overview. It opens with an assassination. There are some subtle things that I didn't outline that I will in when I actually sit down and write the script after I finish the novel I'm working on. Guys, I think this is a good place to call it. I'm kind of done. I kind of want to go warm up in a coffee shop and look at some pretty baristas or something. So we're gonna shut this down. Thanks for watching. I will wander yet again. I get the impression that these AI things are gonna kind of pooch YouTube. I think they're in some manner gonna usurp what YouTube is and represents right now. But for now, we'll call this a YouTube thing. Maybe Twitter, I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I never know when, but we'll do this again. Probably a couple days to a week or so. We'll put something together and we'll get a little operation going and bring you along.